मेरे को बता इनका। हेलो। ये जानबूझकर ऐसा कर रहा है क्या रे?
कौन
गुलकैंडी।
कौन है?
तू मैसेज देख रहा है नोस्त्रा के? व्हाट्सएप चेक कर।
चार्टिंग इनटू
ഹലോ. ഇത്ര ഇവിടുന്ന് തുടങ്ങി നമ്മളറിഞ്ഞില്ലല്ലോ. ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞ സ്ക്രീനിൽ കേൾക്കുമോ? Sorry for the delay that we've been causing due to technical issues. We weren't able to connect back to the game, and now we're back in. As you can see now, it's just been 4 minutes into the game now, and all of the people who dived into the map are still alive, with 34 people alive in the game. And as I said, that geologist should go to knock on finish onto Rambo. A bit of a pickle that between Action PH and M4. So back into Miramar in the first game of the match, and as you can see, the fight between M4 and Action PH is on and ongoing, and Senti is already knocked up and he's been tagged pretty much. Let's see if Action PH is able to rest their teammate up. One player from M4 has already been knocked and finished by Action PH, and the kill goes to Senti. So the first phase is almost going to be down in 20 seconds. And let's see where the zone is going to in the minimap in the way. Meanwhile, in the background, we can see PINTADOS ESPORTS got a knock and a flash onto 4 PIGGIES as well. So fights are going on in between, like isolated fights, but no team fights or major casualties as of now. But let's see until the zone and the phase closes, that we'll see that when and where the team decides to go into, and let's see if a major fight does break out. Mighty 4 does spot out one player out of Action PH being rotating to kind of make a pinch. And before Action PH could take advantage, M4 are trying to get out of this fight. But Action PH, they're not making great use out of that flank. and that was because M4 noted that flank and they happened to be fast enough to get out of that fight. And here also we can see 4 PIGGIES deciding to get out of the fight and they're just leaving. So even though they just lost 2 players, Babyzoo and Among, just 2 players left for the game. But PINTADOS Esports are not letting go, but in meanwhile, just Ironheart just going straight through where FPS was camping and leaving Senti in 1 HP, but that is not the concern for Senti right now. They are straight up following. As I said, now it's the last day of the competition and every team will be looking for all the kills that they can muster up. So this is what happens when teams tend to get super aggressive. And Action PH just got 3 kills. And as we've seen from the previous fight as well, PINTADOS Esports did manage to get 2 kills onto 4 PIGGIES. So everyone is trying to rack up as much skills as possible because right now it's just the top 3 position that matters to them. So they don't care if they're gonna die trying, but they need all the points that they get. So if they're going to fight, they have to be super aggressive. They have to be fighting early on. They shouldn't care if they're out of the zone or if they're in. They should be going for each and every fight that will be presented to them. Meanwhile, as we know about 976, most probably they'll be the one in sitting soft on top after their good performances from yesterday. But in the end, we did see some teams getting good performances out of the JUNKYARD group and other teams as well. So let's see how the points table will shape up until the end of the day. We have been seeing some split from 976 Esports does work out sometimes, but their strategies have not been solid because when Hanax and Roulette does manage to stick together, they work very well like in well-oiled machine. But when they two are split up, it seems like they don't have that cutting edge. It seems like they fall apart somewhere, and when fight comes to them, it seems like they are not that well prepared. Like, they just fall apart way too easily. That's the only weak point that 976 has presented themselves with, and other teams has been using that as well. And the background we just saw SENMOD's King Red being knocked out by kids. So PINTADOS Esports is not the team to slow down anymore. They want as much as a kill, and as of now they got 3 out of the 6 that has already been killed. 3 has been in the name of PINTADOS Esports. 18's alive. And PINTADOS Esports are trying to get as much as kills possible from the rest of, other than them, they have 24 opponents left and they need to get as much as possible if they need the win. If they need as much as points they can get, it's good for them because it will only get them on top of the leaderboard and they're aiming for it. PINTADOS Esports are taking multiple fights at a single time. And until now, it hasn't been punishing them. And that's the only thing giving them confidence to fight even more, pressure on teams even more, so that, I don't know, they're thinking that it is possible for them to still be on, get on top and maybe win the whole thing. So that's the one thing, riding their confidence and also riding them. 3 guys of PINTADOS Esports are here together, but the one guy who are rotating to them has been getting shots from the SENMOD's other 2 players who are residing in the compound below. Let's see where the zone has shifted to in the second phase now. Because after what has been happening, the zone being pretty simple for now, pretty much now. Let's see, the zone has shifted pretty much up north, to be honest. The zone has shifted directly towards where Colony is in the top side of El Azhar, and even though there are not much of activity going on inside the zone, it is possible that teams that do decide to come together when they are rotating might get into a pickle or fights. So let's see what's going to happen. SENMOD and PINTADOS esports are already together. So, and also we have seen in the minimap that 976 and HOA are in the same kind of spot in the top eastern part of LSR as well. So there might be multiple fights going on in the next few seconds. So we have to wait and see what will happen where. Colony 2, we've been seeing some good performances out of them. We've seen them fight out against Action PH in yesterday's Miramar, where Action PH finally got the chicken dinner, while we've just seen Action PH fighting 4 piggies out in the open, and it's just the last player now alive for 4 piggies, to be honest. Even though Rems has been knocked down, I think it is possible for them to rest him up. So this is the last one player alive for PIGGIES. Let's see what he's able to do. Maybe get a flash or two onto Action PH, but Action PH are not going to give that out loosely. So is trying to get out of the scene, but he won't be able to. He'll be knocked out in the 8th place. So in the 9th place. And sorry, 8th place it is indeed. And 7 teams remaining now with 76 alive. Action PH has just knocked out 4 piggies, and with 4 piggies and already M4 being knocked out of the game, it's just 7 teams alive now. Into 13 minutes of the game, we can see that Action PH are kind of close to where Lemma from Colony is at. So he has been trying to get as much as info out of Action PH and the fight between 4 piggies, but until now the one single ridge that is between them has been denying all the info. I don't think Lemma is aware that the whole team of Action PH is just going to go onto the compound just below where he is at now. So it is possible that maybe Lemma will get a knockout on too, but Geologist does spot on Lemma. Sorry, Geologist spot on Maestro. They are not aware of where Lemma is, and he does get shot onto Geologist. So now they are aware of where Lemma is. So it is a pretty bad position for Colony because one player is pretty isolated. And if they decide to converge on them, but that doesn't happen because the zone has already shifted and every team is going for the zone now. So let's see how. Yeah, and PINTADOS esports has just got a find onto SENMOD. It has been pretty stale in the background, we can see, but multiple fights going on. PINTADOS esports KO has been knocked and finished by ASTRAX, so a third party going on there as well. PINTADOS esports returning favor with killing one from SENMOD in the name of 1M bot. So multiple kills going on everywhere as the zone has shifted further up north. So everyone will have to go to the safe zone now, and it'll be pretty hard as there are 7 teams still alive in the phase 3. So there are still, even though there is 4 phases to cover, but there is no place to play with other than ridges. So they'll have to move to compounds as fast as possible. Other than that, everything else is occupied. So if you go try to take a ridge or a cover that you're not familiar with, you're going to get shot from angles that you don't even know. So every team has to be in aware of what is going to happen in the next zone. So they'll have to make a move. There is not much for compound to play with other than the whole city of LSR, but it will most probably out of the safe zone in the next shift. It'll most probably towards the 3 craters in the middle of LSR and Lucas del Well. So let's see where the zone is going to shift, if it's going to remain center or it will take a crazy shift to the north or south. In the meanwhile, Action PH 976 has going to a fight, and Hanax just getting a knock onto Geologist. And as I told, when 976 just manage to stick together, not being split or taking isolated fights, they tend to play very well under pressure. Even if 4 or 5 teams are pushing into them, they do just manage to get out of the fight. But the knock that has been confirmed by PINTADOS esports, to be honest, they doesn't get the kill. Silent claims the kill of 2 Geologists. It is just 3 remaining for Action PH now, but still 976 does not get that kill. It has been stolen by PINTADOS esports. I think PINTADOS esports have 5 or 6 kills to their name. So as of now, they're doing pretty good. They have been taking their fights. They have been doing pretty well as of now. Let's see if they'll be able to continue that form to the last phase of the game as well. And as I said already, they will have to rotate into the open where ridges and covers will be the only thing that will get. And if it's a place that you're unusual with, things like this are gonna happen. You're gonna be out in the open. You won't be able to know from where you're getting shots from, and you'll be getting shots from new angles that you are not even aware of. So that is happening to Action PH when Action PH just decided to get into a place that they were not okay with. And now they're just getting picked up one by one. Our rims has been flashed. So 976 claiming their first kill. Senti is just out in the open. So let's see. And as I told you, the Grossa of Man of the works wonders as Carbon Lorry gets knocked as well. So it's just the last guy out of Senti for Action PS now. And he just got backstabbed by Sevi, third party coming into play. Action PS just got completely wiped. As I said, they have got no covers. It's just ridges and mountains and just trees or rocks right now. Everyone trying to get into some or the other cover that they're gonna get. But other than that, they're gonna get third party. They're gonna get shots from random places, and that happens to PINTADOS Esports as well. 976. Okay, Colony has just killed the rest 3 players of PINTADOS Esports. So that's the game for PINTADOS Esports. They've been trying to be over aggressive, and they got themselves into a position that does not favor them. They were downhill, and Colony, who were uphill, has managed to get all of the 3 kills that left. And Colony right now are killing everyone left and right. SENMOD's one player who were outside the safe zone. Colony's Sray has spotted him out and has been knocked and flashed up. So Colony doing pretty good with Maestro's 3 kills and Lemma confirming his 1 kill as well. So 4 kills for Colony PH. So let's see what Colony will be able to do as well. So HOA. Okay, as I've been telling about how Colony will do, Hanax just got a knock onto Maestro. So it's just 2 players alive for Colony right now. Maestro being knocked, the player with 3 kills for the team just got knocked out. And Lemma is just out in the open taking his car as a cover. Maestro is going to bleed out in a second. And he does. Let's see if Manabdi gets a knock onto Lemma as well, but he's knocked down to 8 HP. A good nade, well-placed nade is going to get Lemma out. That isn't needed as Lemma has already been knocked out by Roulette, and Manabdi's Grossa will confirm all other kills as Colony PH has been eliminated in 5th place. So 4 teams are remaining. 976 Esports with 4 alive, HOA with 4 alive, ASTRAX with 3. They haven't been pretty active. They have not been taking so much fight. They have been just hiding in covers, and it is not working good for them. As I've told you over and over again, if you're gonna get into the open, you're gonna get third party from each and every position. And so does happen to Fluff as well. He's the last remaining person in Team SENMOD. So it's just between ASTRAX and SENMOD with a solo players in each, and the 4-man squad of HOA and 976 Esports remaining. So 976 are doing pretty well with the only compound in their name. So if the zone does go in their favor, which it kind of does and kind of does not, because 2 players of 976 are not in the same zone and 2 players are. And the 2 solo players who have been playing on top of the hill but with no zone has both been killed. 1 kill going on to SENMOD, going to SENMOD, and SENMOD going to the safe zone. So that'll be that for SENMOD in this game and for ASTRAX too. So it's just the 4 players of 976 and HOA left, but Gule is gonna be knocked in a second or 2 because he's out of the zone and he's been knocked down to very low HP. So it's most probably going to be 4v3 versus 976. But HOA are kind of split up. It's just three people in a one spot, and then Sharma at one spot. That is not going to help if they are going to give out knocks, and that does happen as 976 just got a knock and flash onto Sevi. So as I said, it might be a 4v3 in the favor of HOA. Now it turns out to be a 4v2 for 976. So if 976 does manage to get all the knocks, all the 4 kills, it will be a good game for them as they'll get 10 kills finally. As I said, if they did manage to play together, maybe they've been doing pretty well. But as I've been saying, that Roulette is trying to roam around the middle of the nothing right now. He's just roaming through the edge of the zone, as we've been seeing earlier that he was isolated and he was just trying to take a rock as a cover. But head on point, trying to rest his teammate, but knocks him out with a car. That is not going to help them at this point, as the zone is on their edge and you're just going to get flushed, or the teammate of 966 are going to push them out, as the play zone does claim the kill out of HOA's Xiaoma, and head on point will be knocked as well. Pretty bad decision making out of head on point, trying to rest his teammate up who was out of the same zone. And head on point also left their teammate who was already alive and it had a compound in the center of the zone, and he was isolated. I don't get the play of HOA right now because it does not work out for them, and it's just a 4v1 in favor of 976. And No More does get a knock onto Flash. Let's see if No More is able to get a 1v4 versus 976. He does get 2 kills, but it's just 4 HP left for No More. If he's able to get health back up, maybe he'll be able to do something. Roulette is just deciding to push, and that's a good decision out of 976. 2 players of 976 pushing the last player, No More, claiming all the kills out of HOA and 10 kills for 976, claiming the first dinner in Miramar. Pretty good play from 976. Even though it was confusing in the end for HOA, they did pretty well as well, but just getting the 1 kill out of the map. Triangle with the central in for so back into the game. Let's see where other teams are deciding to jump into. As of now, I think M4 does not have any fight into them, so they're free and off to go to jump into the fair pier, and with 4 piggies getting the fair pier as well. So all the teams pretty isolated other than Action PH and OG. But OG going for apartments and Action PH jumping into school. Let's see how both of the teams are going to loot. So let's see if there are going to be a fight between Action PH and Ocean Gaming. Other than that, it's going to be pretty okay as SENMOD. As I said, Action PH and OG are fighting, but Cone just going for the US. He does get it, so just stealing the vehicle off from Action PH. He does manage to do that. It's all fine and good for our Ocean Gaming in the moment. As we look into the zone, we can see that the zone has going for a pretty eastern shift. So all of Gadka, George Paul, and Puchinki will be out of the safe zone, out of play area. People have to go into Lipovka Mansion and Prison if they need to play in the last zones. Shelter will also be a good option for all the teams because there are a lot of entry points and a lot of places to hide with. The lower elevations and the ground, there's a lot of freeze in the area of shelter also, so it's going to be good for teams in the later areas to avoid a lot of shots and to play safe as well. So let's see how the teams are going to rotate into the safe zone. If they do decide to go in early, or this team just manage to go in a little bit late and still maybe get a good game out of it. So 4 PIGGIES should be moving pretty fast because there are a lot of teams that'll be in between them if they do decide to go in late, because M4 and SENMOD are already in the military area and the compound surrounding it, and in Puchinki there is a team of 976 as well, so 4 PIGGIES should be moving pretty fast. But all the teams as of now are just looking at the loot, trying to gather all the loot that they can get, and then going to the safe zone maybe. For M4 in the map of Irangal, they always play this isolated fight. So if any other team is aware of M4's normal game routine, they can just take advantage of this and just come and push into M4 right now and get easy 1 or 2 kills. But lucky for them, none of them are trying to go for this fight as early, and everyone is just looking to get into the loot side of things. Action PH2, we can see they are a little bit concerned about what Ocean Gaming are up to, but they're not aware of what they're actually going to do. I think Ocean Gaming are just going to gather up all the loot that they can get, and they just I don't think that they intend to fight Action PH, but both of the teams are pretty aggressive teams. So if 2 teams are in a pickle, and if we think they are not sure to leave the fight, it's Action PH and Ocean Gaming, as normally they do not do it. They just try to take as much as a fight as possible, trying to get all the kills for them. But as of now, Action PH themselves are in a split, so I don't think it'll be great for Action PH to get into an early fight, and for Ocean Gaming as well. They're kind of in the edge of the zone, and also staying long in the apartments can kind of be like a time trap, because you don't feel like time trap going. Like, you can't even understand how it has been just phase 3 already. So you have to be careful of what you're doing in apartments. You have to leave early if you do need to get a good position in the zone. Otherwise, you'll be in here for a long time. As you can see, phase 1 is going to close in 10 seconds, and as the zone will be moving, all the teams who are outside the zone will be moving towards the safe zone marked in white circle. And 976 has already left Pubg. They are going towards shelter where M4 is following them, and they are followed by 4 piggies. So let's see if a fight does go on between 976 and M4. Timiname rotating closely from where 976 are already at, but I think M4 is aware where 976 is because the cars has been parked pretty outside of the compound. So M4 will stay like a strafe of this fight, and they'll go for a later fight maybe. Timiname but going for the field uphill. Yep, and that will be punished. Timiname has been knocked. Rambo just got a drive-by onto flashed, so good play coming out of M4, but that does not pay them well as they just got a knock onto flash, but Timiname has been flashed and flashed up, and Ironhide too, he has been knocked down. So it's just a Rambo for M4 now, and they do not have a kill. Let's see, and that is going to be for M4, and in background we can see there's a fight going on between Action PH and Ocean Gaming. So as I told you, if two teams are not going to stay a strafe of a fight and they're going to fight, they're not going to go back, it's going to be Ocean Gaming and Action PH because they're the most aggressive teams in this lobby. So let's see what's going to happen here. Best two players of Ocean Gaming has already been knocked down, but they're all alive, they're all still good and okay. And all players of Action PH are here now. Let's see what Action PH are able to do in this fight. It's just two players, and Uzi Mentor gets a knock onto Renz. But he'll most probably be rested up as Carbon Lodi is right by him. But Cone and Uzi's player is deciding to shoot them. Let's see, but Mentor and Cone both gets knocked by Geologist and Carbon Lodi respectively. Let's see, Cone is pushing onto them. Carbon Lodi tagged 24 HP. Both of the players of Action PH are getting really knocked down. Just 1 HP for Carbon Lodi right now. He's getting pushed by Cone. But Carbon Lodi does get a knock on to X-Clone, and he finishes OG Mentor as well. With 1 HP, Carbon Lodi doing as much as possible, getting 2 knocks and a 1 kill on 2. But Geologist just get knocked by Gosia, who escapes the building, tries to take cover outside. Let's see if he'll be able to flash it up. Yet the fight is done and good. Or 4 players of Action PH survive. And HOA, in meanwhile, has been eliminated. When did that happen? I did not even see what was happening in the mini feed, as this fight was so engaging and Action PH fought out way too well, and they have all 4 teammates still well, good and alive to go. All vests and helmets have been recovered for them. They'll be moving on to the zone now. They have conquered the school and apartments area, already knocking out OG out of the game. And Action... Oh, sorry, and Hanax just got a knock on to KO as well. So 976 deciding to go to the usual realm when it gets to Erangel. But Rule has been knocked out as well. So let's see if he's going to get knocked out. I told you in the previous game, if 976 does decide to get into a split, it does not often work well for them. And that's the case here as well. Hanax has been tagged up, Menabdi has been tagged up, and he's taking cover besides a tree. Flash is taking cover besides a tree. They're not in a good position right now. He's nading whom? But they are panicking in the open right now. They're still managing to get a knock or 2. They have 2 knocks onto PINTADOS Esports. KO and Silent both are knocked up. But ASTRAX is stealing all the kills that 976 is getting. And in return, Rule from his team is also gone. So when Rule and Hanax just play together, it does go for well. It goes well for them. Now they are not, and it is not going well for 976 as of now, because it's just 3 players left. They're in the open. They are not sure of what to do. It's just man of these, just in the compound thinking what their teammates are doing. So it's just not going well and good 976 at the moment. So let's see what 976 will be able to do with this very bad position for themselves. They're just out in the open. They don't know where to go. And in the meanwhile, Axe Arab just confirmed the kill onto KO as well. So 976 won't be getting any needs from this fight. Flash getting knocked down to 2 SP with a burst tire, so he'll be just sabotaging his teammate out in the open. Let's see if Hanax will be knocked, and he will be knocked out by CJ18 of PINTADOS Esports. So pretty bad decision coming out of 976, as I told you. And they do get a bit more confident. They decide to get split up and go out in the open than that pace. Way too much of a problem. That pace has way too much a problem for 976 Esports, and it does. They lose 2 of their players, and in meanwhile, Action PH has just pushed on to SENMOD, claiming the kill onto one on board, and King Reds has been knocked down by ASTRAX as well. So ASTRAX has been third-partying this location for a while now, and they've been getting kills as well. So they almost got 3 kills from this fight from 2 different teams now. Rems has been, oh my god, even though he was in a very bad position, Rems manages to get the knock onto Flip, and he'll be flashed up by Senti, his teammate from the compound below. Rems now healing himself up to 75 HP. Let's see what King Res, if he's going to be able to survive, but he won't be. He'll be, as I said earlier, third party out by Kel from the compound, far away from them in the mansion compound, but sorry, in the shelter compound, and the ASTRAX does get to the kill onto SENMOD's King Reds. So Accent PH has been fighting early, getting the 2 kills from SENMOD and getting 4 kills of OG as well. So they have 6 kills right now. They are the only team who has managed to keep 4 players, even though being pretty much aggressive all in. But broken shields and broken helmets are not a good sign early on, as maybe they won't be able to loot again if they're not able to loot the crates that they're going to kill of the enemies. So they won't have pretty good shields and helmets. So if that's going to be the case for the later games, it won't be good for them. But as of now, they're okay. They're in a good spot. Accent PH has 6 kills with 4 of the teammates left, and all of the decisions that they've been making are paying good for them. All of the team in the zone. Let's see where the zone is going to shift in the next phase, as it'll be closing out soon. So SENMOD's last one sneak alive, that name of Narsex, they aren't able to get 1 kill out of the game as of now. But looking into the game, they'll be having a bit of a regret trying to stop in the open, where already the team of M4 did get punished for going into the open, and they did too, and they got punished as well, as did 976, who went to the same hill as M4 did. They got flashed up. 976, they lost 2 team members, and SENMOD too, and they lost 3 members as well. So that position is pretty weak considering the zone that has been formed, because it is open to see from too many angles, and it is evident as what has been happening to the teams who are diverting to that area. And now ASTRAX, and a fight between ASTRAX and 4CG. AR Amit has been knocked, and there's a possibility that he could be flashed up, but no, the last shot doesn't land, as he'll be rested up now by his teammate Vicky Rex. So it's all good for 4CG in the moment. Let's see if the Junkyard Group, who did manage to get a chicken dinner yesterday, will be able to do something today after missing out the first match. So the zone has took a pretty central, say, towards SMD's compound. So it's a possibility that SENMOD is going to get pushed. The last player out of SENMOD is going to be pushed by the 2 remaining players of 976 hours. In the meanwhile, there's a fight going on between Colony Esports and Action PH in the hill on top of Potato Hill. So that's a possibility. And there's already 2 knocks in Geologist and Lemma both getting knocked out. Rames getting knocked as well. Mr. Geo getting a good angle from top of the building. And he'll be flashing out Rames, where in turn Lemma will be flashed from Team Colony as well. So it's just Mr. Geo left for Colony right now. Let's see, Action PH has 3 players left. 1 player, Rems, has been flashed up by Geo, and that's the only kill that they currently have. You can see 976 are pushing into this fight, and Flash just get a knock onto Senti, and Flash just managed to knock Carbon Lodi as well. So it's just 1 player left. For Action PH suddenly. We did not suspect that this would be happening, as 976 they were just camping out in the open, sorry, in the building that was under Potato Hill, and no one was expecting them to push like this, and that happened to Action PH as well. They did not suspect that this would be happening. Decision out of the IGL link from 976. They managed to get 2 knocks and 2 flashes out of Action PH, and the last player remaining of Action PH, Geologist, just decide to get out of this fight. This is not worth what they're doing. So 976 managing to get 2 more kills from the remaining 2 players. Pretty ratty, to be honest, but that has been paying good dividends for 976, as they're up to 5 kills right now and 9 teams are still remaining. So if 1 more team gets eliminated before them, they'll be able to rack up some position points as well. Let's see what 976 will be able to do in the long run with just 2 players. Yep, Colony PH has been eliminated by 4 PIGGIES now. So 8 teams alive. Everyone will be getting a point each from this point on for their position. So let's see which team will come out on top after this phase. And the game is being concluded. Let's see where the zone has shifted into in phase 4. Going pretty central again towards SENMOD. He's getting a bit of luck finally. Even though after 3 of his teammates has been killed, he's still alive in the center of the zone. It's the only compound, actually. There's no single compound in the safe zone other than that compound. So there's a possibility that Team 4CG might be crashing onto this compound right now. But other teams will be hesitating to go into this compound because they are not sure. They are seeing a lot of vehicle outside the compound. So it might be that paranoia that might be stopping them from going into that compound, but they are not. They don't have the info that it's just 1 player in the compound, but they don't know about that, so they'll refrain from going into that. So there'll be a lot of players just out in the open, and as we talking about, Grandpa is getting a knock on to Wits, Uwu, and Vikirex follows suit by Team Pro G. Vikirex getting a knock on to Jinx, Yo as well. So it's just 1 player of JUNKYARD Group, Grandpa, who is isolated in the compound. He's trying to do as much as possible with his SLR, but he's not able to do much right now because it's just him alive and they do not have any kills or nothing in their name. So he has decided to retaliate from the fight, just stay in the compound as of now. And in the meanwhile, PINTADOS ESPORTS and ASTRAX are fighting as well. So ASTRAX have a good fight, and they knocked out PINTADOS ESPORTS from the game. The PINTADOS ESPORTS eliminated in the 8th place, and meanwhile ASTRAX cable has been flashed up by Flashed, and 4CG's player have been lost to the zone as well. So people being knocked and flashed left and right in everywhere. Meanwhile, Geologist has been knocked and flashed. Sorry, he was the last player alive, so he has been killed as well. So that'll be it for Action PH for this game as well. So let's see, just 6 teams alive. Suddenly, it was phase 3, 9 teams were alive. Right now, it's just 6 teams, 14 players alive. 10 seconds decides a lot in this game of PUBG. Even though the game runs 30 or 33 minutes, that 10 seconds decides win or lose for every team. And the zone going again in favor of that solo player of SMD who is in the compound, and all of the other players are still in the paranoia that a whole squad is camping in that compound, and no one is that, what can I say, that confident to go to there and see if it's going to be possible to get into the compound. But no one will be forcing themselves to go anywhere without any info, so they'll be just hanging on to the any places that they've got. Let's see what the last player of the Junkyard group, that is Grandpa, will be able to do with this position that he's got. But all of them are outside the safe zone. The 3 players left of 4CG and the 1 solo player of UK, sorry, the Junkyard group, are all outside the zone. But 4 Piggies, even though they have a flank, there is a flank on the flanker. So it is possible that NIII will be knocked out right now, and he will be knocked. So a knock coming on to 4 Piggies and 4CG as well. And UK Grandpa, in the meanwhile, Art is taking revenge on 4CG. So it's just Hardwell remaining for 4CG in the moment. And Grandpa deciding to scoot out of the fight, but Baby Zoo is not deciding to let him go that easy, but he'll manage to get out of it, maybe. So Vetsu is going to confirm a kill onto NIII, the 1 player of Piggies who was knocked out. So Hardwell is still knocked up. It is possible that Baby Zoo or the players of 4 Piggies will get that kill onto the last player of Junkyard group and the last player of 4CG behind them as well. So they're taking multiple fights at the moment. So, but I don't think it'll be too much of a casualty for 4 Piggies, as it's just 1 player remaining from both teams. Yep, 4CG has been fleshed now, and it'll be Junkyard group following next. So I don't think Grandpa will be surviving the fight for too much. So he just has a rock as a cover, and it won't be much before he'll be dead, and he's been killed as well. And as we've been talking about it, 976 has been pushing into the area where SENMOD last play was camping in, and Flashed has got that kill, and they have secured that compound. So it's just between 976 ASTRAX and 4 Piggies with 3 players each, and 976 with 2. Even though 976 has lost 2 players in the beginning, they have somehow managed to get into the top 3 right now. And with 6 kills in their hand, it's going pretty good for 976 with the first chicken dinner with 10 kills, and now the 3rd position with 6 kills already. So let's see if they're able to maybe get into the top 2, or maybe even get a consecutive winner in a wrangle as well. So let's see what's going to happen, as just 3 teams remain, 3 from each of ASTRAX and 4 Piggies remaining, 2 players of 976. But 976 is the only team alive with a compound in their name. So this is going to be the power play of 976. If 976 manage to get ASTRAX's remaining player who are outside of the zone, so they will be making a run for the compound right now. They are making a run for it. Let's see if Flashed and Manabdi are able to manage this pressure and maybe pull out ASTRAX's all 3 players. If they do manage to get it, it'll be a quite interesting feat out of 976. Let's see. And 4 Piggies, they are hesitant to rotate to the zone as well, because they know that if they're going to get into the open, 976 is going to take advantage of that very bad position that they've got now. Even though 976 did get managed to get a knock onto ASTRAX, he'll be raised up, he'll be good to go in a bit. So Axarab, the only person with a position inside the safe zone, even though not good, he has a position inside the safe zone in the name of a shack. So it'll be solid cover for him right now. So both of his teammates will be coming to him in the next 1 or 2 seconds. Let's see what 976 will be responding to that. Let's see if the zone does manage to go towards that single compound again. Oh my god. The vehicle explosion from Manabdi has just knocked out exhibition from ASTRAX. Let's see if the spam does work and he'll be flashed up. ASTRAX are getting pressured from all sides now. They are not getting an inch to play with, and the player who was knocked from the side of ASTRAX might bleed out now, and the kill has been confirmed for 976, claiming their 8th kill of the match. Meanwhile, 4 Piggies are playing a 2-1 split, with 1 player playing a pretty wide flank to the right. Maybe it's spotted, but Manabdi getting knocked out pretty low with an SLR from 4 Piggies. And now they know where that solo player is, but it's a silencer with a suppressor for Piggies. Now that'll be important. Now if Flash is not able to pick out where the shots came from, Piggies will have an advantage. But Piggies just have cover of trees and just rocks right now. They'll have to make work with that. But 976 has that whole compound. If that compound goes out of the zone in this wild shift, if it's going to happen, let's see what the next phase will be. Be closing out in a second, and the zone goes again in the favor of 976. Everyone else other than 976 are out of the zone, safe zone now. So it'll be or die for Piggies and ASTRAX in a second or two. They'll be having to make a move. Smokes will be thrown in the rages, smokes will be thrown everywhere if they have to survive. They'll have to make a run for it to the compound, maybe even if they have to survive this onslaught that 976 with just 2 players are creating. Pubg is trying to slow down the game for themselves, trying to get edge into the safe zone, just trying to get their feet and head in the safe zone, not trying to get any sort of a map control right now. They just need to survive until ASTRAX or 976 make contact with each other. Maybe they'll get a window where they won't be spotted. They just want to get in the zone. Okay, Baby Sue is in his US. Maybe we'll see a send down towards 976 and a fight maybe imminent between 976 and ASTRAX as well. So let's see what this 3-man fight is going to conclude into. As I've been telling that Setup has been knocked out by Man of Z. Let's see if the spam goes clean. But as I told you, they just need that one window. But that is not the right timing for Baby Zoo as he has been knocked up. No, he does get to manage to make it. Or maybe the nade will be pretty decisive right now, and Flash does get the knock on to Baby Zoo. Let's see if the nade gets connected right now. Menabdi has knocked down one player more out of Jamanistic from 4 Piggies, so it's just the one player remaining for 4 Piggies now, and the one player remaining for ASTRAX, who has been rested up when that fight between 4 Piggies and 976 started to go on. So 2 players of ASTRAX still alive. It's just one player for 4 Piggies now. Let's see if ASTRAX out of nothing may be able to get a dinner. Let's see if 976 just need 2 players to get a chicken dinner in this much of a competitive lobby. 10 kills already for 976, 3 more up for grabs. Let's see how much more 976 will be getting. Let's see if 976 will be able to close this game as well. Sorry. Oh my god, such a messy fight onto it. He's on fire, he's dead, he's done and dusted for his 4 Piggies will be out in the 3rd position. Manabdi getting good cover out of this house. He knows that ASTRAX is pushing and Axarab has been knocked out as well. Oh my god, this is hell of a work coming out from ASTRAX. So the last player will be out to 30 HP. He won't have any meds or health to boost up, and wonders working out for 976 as they get 13 kills from this power component. They just need 2 players to make an onslaught, and they just kills everyone who is in the lobby and claims 13 kills in the name. Chicken dinner for 976. ASTRAX, who have been struggling from the beginning, does manage to get 7 kills in the 2nd position. 4 Piggies trying to work out that small window that they've got, not working out for them, with 8 kills going out on the 3rd place. Very well played by 976 in the end. We are back into the fourth match of today. Sorry, third match of today with Miramar back into play. Let's see what Miramar has hold in his hands for us to see now. It's a pretty central playing path again coming on to Miramar. Teams deciding to jump on early. Colony, M4, NXG are deciding to jump on early now. Let's see if an early clash is going on between M4 and NXG, which has been a trend for Erangel for the last few days right now. So if that's going to be a fight in Miramar as well, it's going to be pretty entertaining to see. As we normally see, Pecado are normally suited by two teams of Action PH and OG, so it's quite possible that a fight will be going on pretty early between Action PH and OG. Now, let's see that what is going to happen between them. Timiname has just knocked out Proji with a vehicle, that's within. So, early craziness going on Miramar. Other than that, it's pretty okay. Let's see when and where OG does decide to fight it out. What are you planning now? Manabdi deciding to go on AFK at the moment. Let's see what's on iPad. So in Pecado, there are currently two teams, and there is no hot drop other than that as of now. SENMOD are currently split up, looting out power grid and the compound surrounding it. San Martin is pretty freed up, and we can see the zone has formed right in the center of Miramar, so teams will be having no trouble rotating as majority of the teams are already in the safe zone. This is going to be a rare visual for you guys as two FK players meet each other, but one had decided to come before another. So Vicky Rex's kill has been claimed by 976 as they need more luck as of now because they already have 2 dinners and 23 kills to their name just today. They just get a free kill on top of that. Okay. So we're back, guys, and due to some technical issues, we were forced to pause the stream for a while. But now we're back into the game, and for the viewers who were not unable to watch what happened in between, we could confirm that Action PH has completely wiped out Ocean Gaming out of Picado, and in the meanwhile, 4 Piggies has knocked out the JUNKYARD group as well. So 2 teams going out early in the first phase. So let's see where the zone has gone into as well. So it's got the same, but all the other teams have rotated back to the circle as well. All the other teams trying to get their places in the safe zone. Other than M4, who is closer to Colony, it's all pretty neat and tidy as all the other teams are just minding their own business right now. So fight is going on between ASTRAX and SENMOD, but pretty still as of now, nothing major coming onto it. There's a possibility that SENMOD will just go out of this one because it's not the ideal scenario for SENMOD at this moment as ASTRAX are pushing into it. But Fleur is hesitating to leave, and I don't think it will be paying good dividends for SENMOD as it's a possibility that they're going to be losing a player early on. Yep, that does happen as Fleur is knocked by X-Arab. He thought that Fleur thought that maybe his teammate will be helping him, but that did not happen as ASTRAX managed to find angles in which his team couldn't help him, not even cover him. So, SENMOD losing a player early on and ASTRAX getting a kill for themselves out of a bad decision from SENMOD. So let's see what else is going to happen in between this fight. So HOA in the meanwhile has got the knock and flash on to Mana D. So 976, as we know, is a trend for them to lose player early on. But HOA know that nothing more will be coming out of it as 976 normally plays alone and isolated, so they are going back to their compounds. The zone has shifted further south, going directly in center to where M4 is at. So other than the crater in the middle, there are compounds to play off with in the open as well, so it's okay for teams to get out and get in the open, so they will have places to fall back into. In the meanwhile, 976 Relay does got a knock onto CJ and flashes him out. And Hanax just got a knock onto Kenz as well, so it's going pretty good for 976 now, getting the 3 kills, so they won't be that much aware or conscious about what is happening. They'll be playing for fun at this moment as they'll be comfortable with what they've already had with 2 dinners and 23 kills for the names. ASTRAX rotating pretty dangerously close towards 976, and let's say if a knock or two just come out of this fight, but none of the bullets connecting ASTRAX, making it safe and sound out of this area. We can see that HOA are coming dangerously close to where 976 is at now. Tires of HOA, they're just trying to make harder for HOA right now, but that's not happening as HOA is creeping ever so slightly closer to where 976 is, and it is possible that maybe 976 could be eliminated early on, at least in one match. But HOA decides to not take that fight and go back as 976 did start putting up pressure on them. So that is not going to happen right now. So they'll just leave it. Long shots going on all over the place, but no committing fights or team fights going on. It's all okay. 11 teams still alive after phase 2. After this zone close in 34 seconds, we'll know where the zone is going on to. It'll be after the zone shift that we'll know what is going to be the story that is going to be forming up in Miramar in this third map. NXT still with no kills, but has the positional advantage of Los Leones. Able to see what is going on all over the map right now. All circle is still visible to them with this height advantage, but they are not able to get vision or. But as we just seen, the zone has took a wild shift towards the north, pretty much central if I'm going to be honest, but still a lot of teams are going to lose their only cover that they had. Picardo is on the edge now. Los Leones has already been gone. It's just Graveyard as a solid cover. Everything else is just going to be hills and ridges. So 976 will be finally getting a fight with HOA. And Sevi getting a kill onto one player of 976 as well. So it's just 2 players left of 976. Let's see what's going to be happening, as for a second time 976 are trying to fall back into this building, but this time around HOA is not going to do that, and they are going to decide to take a fight. But Flashed has just flashed himself, so let's see what's going to happen in this fight, as just 2 players left for 976. But we know well and we are aware that that's just what they need. 2 players is where 976 feel most comfortable at, but that molly will be right on the foot of Flash, and he'll get mollied out. He'll be knocked up, and it's going to be Hanax. Let's see if Hanax is able to pull up a 1v4, a miracle 1v4 for Flash, or sorry, for 976, maybe to push their kills, maybe something at this very bad position. But as we can see, 4CG themselves are getting into this position. So head on point, looking everything from this anchor position. Let's see what Hanax is going to do about that. But as soon as they hear someone shooting at them, 4CG has had to go past this building, not even going to stop. They not even a chance of that is going to happen. But 4CG taking shots from somewhere else, from PINTADOS Esports, who are rotating as close to them. Where Subu will be knocked out. Action Pierce taking shots towards that as well. So many shots going on in a pretty short interval, but Vetsu getting knocked and flushed by KO. PINTADOS Esports, even though they are getting pinched from all sides, still managing to get 1 kill. They did lose 2 of their players early on, and that was 976 doing that. But now with their 2 players that they did manage to get 1 knock and a flash onto 4CG's 4th player. And 4CG has just took a fight against ASTRAX as well, using 1 more player in hardware. So it's just going to be 2 players left for 4CG now. It's most possible that IR Amit is going to be killed as well. Meanwhile, 976 has been eliminated by HOA as well. Team 4CG has been eliminated in 10th place 2. It's going to be 9 teams alive now. The 3rd phase shift is working. A lot of menace around all the map. M4's 2 players has been knocked out. He's just onto Ironhide now. He has been supported out, coming out of the building. He'll be sprayed down. Let's see if Ironhide is able to survive the slot by 4 Piggies, but no, 4 Piggies does manage to kill all the players of Mighty 4, and 4 Piggies will be able to rest both the players who has been knocked up. So 4 up for 4 Piggies with 6 kills now. Good position and good fight coming out of 4 Piggies now. In the background, we can see PINTADOS Esports getting a fight with HOA and KO managing to get a knock and a flash on to no more. But PINTADOS Esports are no more. A bit of a taunt onto PINTADOS. They does manage to get their 3 players up with 6 kills now. 2 kills each for Sevi, Head on Point, and no more. NXG and ASTRAX getting a fight. Darkman Beast getting 2 kills, but Axarab returning the fight, knocking out Darkman Beast. It's a full-on send towards ASTRAX now. 2 players of NXG knocked out. But it's getting a wood. Oh, what a nade from Axarab that just claims the knock onto Gotham Games. While T is just little ghost left for NXG right now, and is gonna be scooting out of the fight. ASTRAX will get a knock, rest up, so it'll be 3 players left, 6 kills for them too. Little Ghost has decided to come close to that place where ASTRAX was just resting up, but Little Ghost picking the worst spot possible, as 3 players of ASTRAX has just decided to come on to the last player of NXG, and he will be flashed up, and it'll be all for NXG in this game, as they have been fully flashed up by ASTRAX. Meanwhile, a fight going on between SENMOD and Colony elsewhere. SENMOD trying to take multiple fights. ASTRAX fighting with HOA as well. HOA fighting ASTRAX in the moment. So let's see what's going to happen between that fight. Did Lemma just knock himself out after falling him from with low HP? HOA getting a nade, flashing out Axarab and confirming the knock onto Falsa Jesu. Kel getting a trade back with Sevi, and he'll be flashed up. Fights going on all places. Just Kel left for ASTRAX with Falsa Jesu knocked up, and Head on Points is also knocked up, so it's just 1 player left for HOA. We also saw Action PS getting onto a fight with 4 Piggies, so that'll be an interesting fight as well. So Action PS does lose. Action lose out the fight, and Geologist and Carbon Lodi will both be confirmed dead. Let's see what's going to happen. Yep, 4 Action PH has been eliminated out of the lobby. 4 Piggies claim their 10 kills in a killing spree. They are right now. 2 players left for 4 Piggies. Even though everyone is trying to take aggressive fights, they are losing teammates, but 4 Piggies is trying to get on top of everything, as they have managed to get 10 kills out of it. The 5th phase is about to be closed up in 2 minutes. Let's see where the zone is going to go into. 4 Piggies are out of the zone. HOA and ASTRAX are all out of the zone. It's just SMD's kingdom right now, with just 2 players of Colony in a corner. But SENMOD has the most control over the map, with 1 player playing anchor on top of the hill and just 2 players playing behind in the compound. So it's just well and okay for SENMOD, but all the other teams, they have no info. They don't know what's going on all sides, as 4 Piggies are coming into HOA and ASTRAX behind the both of the teams. So Colony, it's just 5 teams alive, and it's most possible that SENMOD is just going to farm up all the kills, and the 4 Piggies just got the info that there's a 1 player of ASTRAX hiding behind the hills, so they'll be aware they now have a shack to play with, so solid cover is all that a team could ask for at this point. And kill has been caught out by Arg, and there's a possibility that he's going to be killed as well. So let's see if he's going to get back into cover, and he does get back into cover. So able to fight for a bit more is scared. Yep, he does take a fight outside of safe zone and does manage to knock both players pretty much. But he's going to be doing a sacrificial match out in the blue zone. But his kill will be claimed by Imamne. So one more kill for PIGGIES. 11 makes it now for them. Colony, in the other hand, has 2 players with just 1 kill. So things are not going well enough for Colony in this moment. HOA and PIGGIES are dangerously close right now. Let's see if they get into a fight. But no, they have a lot of distance between them, as they have a lot of cover distance to cover before they'll get into a fight. So it's all okay. It's just Colony that have to make a run onto the safe zone now, and they won't have anything as major cover. But SENMOD is in the aware of Colony's position, because one M4, King Reds are out alone, and if King Reds does not have a positional advantage on to Colony, he might get knocked, and it'll be isolated fights for SENMOD all over again. Even though after having such a position advantage, it's also possible that they could do all this by playing alone. Phase 6 about to be closing in 10 seconds, as the zone has completely gone away from this side of the road onto the ridge. So SENMOD will be having their God Ridge right now. PIGGIES with what they already had, the zone not going too far away from them. Kingness just managed to get a knock on to Xiaoma. So it's just going to be 1 player left for HOA. And that'll be it for HOA in this map. Just 3 teams alive, 2 teams, 2 players each of PIGGIES and Colony, and 3 players alive for SENMOD. So things are looking good for SENMOD right now. If they're able to play this one well, if they're able to take out PIGGIES well, they will be able to claim the chicken dinner this match. But PIGGIES already with 11 kills are playing way too well right now, and they have the height advantage over all the other teams as well. So if the zone somehow manages to not leave this side, it'll be pretty easy for PIGGIES too. So let's see, it'll be between PIGGIES and SENMOD for the fight here, because Colony themselves are not in the best position to begin with. So let's see. The next zone, which will be popping in a bit, will be the decider of this map, as the one team that loses the zone is going to get farmed, and that fight between those 2 teams will be the window that the other team will be looking in, push into them. So let's see what is going to happen. Which team is going to get baited out, and which team is going to fight for the last 2 places. My guess here is that SENMOD will claim the victory, as the zone is most probably going on to them. We'll know pretty soon now. Okay, the zone has shifted towards PIGGIES, and they have the height advantage over everyone else. So it'll be Colony also has a ridge to play for themselves, but SENMOD suddenly has nothing to play with. Not the ideal scenario for SENMOD right now. Not the ideal scenario for Colony too, as PIGGIES has just spotted out 1 player out of Colony. Sorry, PIGGIES has just spotted a player out of Colony, and he does see that, and he goes inside his small shack that he's got, which is outside the safe zone now. He's making a run for it towards his teammate Lema now himself is getting tagged, so life won't be easy for Maestro. It's a possibility that Narsex might be knocked out in a second or two. It's also possible that 4 Piggies can lose it, even though after having all of the positional advantage that they're having now. One Embod manages to get the knock onto Maestro now. So it's just one player left for Colony. And just the car as cover, the nade will not be enough. The spray not connecting as well. One Embod smoking himself up to help him from the fight that 4 Piggies are giving them. So 2 players of SENMOD suddenly knocked down. It's just left to Narsex to do something. That bad play out of SENMOD has just left them with 1 player left. And Colony 2 was only 1 player, and they'll somehow manage to get a knock. So it's just those last wrangle all over again. The 2 members that are left are killing everyone. The better teams with better position wins again and again, because it's just 2 players left for 4 Piggies, but still SENMOD with the highest chance of winning the game has now lost it all with just 1 player of Narsex left for them and 2 players of Colony left. But Colony only has 2 kills. Even if they manage to get a chicken dinner, it won't be as beneficial for them because they haven't managed to get most of the juice out of this game. Even though after losing 2 members, they have only got 2 kills to their name. 4 Piggies, on the other hand, they have 12 kills already. So, and with 3 up for grabs, it's possible that they'll get 25 kills out of this map. But let's see, it's also possible that SENMOD, maybe with the Narsex, he'll be able to clutch out this 1v4 presented in front of him. Colony's 1 member almost getting knocked out, but gets back to cover, so it'll be okay for Colony at the moment. 4 Piggies getting a bit impatient, as we can see, but Colony does decide to converge into that SENMOD's last player remaining. They are dying for action right now. They just want someone to peek at them. They just want to shoot at something. SENMOD is going to be flashed up. It's going to be 2v2 versus Colony PH for 4 Piggies. Now let's see if 4 Piggies are able to do something out of it. "12 kills for 4 Piggies already. So 2 up for grabs right now. So it can be a 14 kill and a chicken dinner for 4 Piggies if everything goes well for them. Even after being so much desperate and impatient for fights, 4 Piggies are taking the time but still getting punished by Lemma from Colony. The zone will be in between both of the teams, so they'll be having to use smokes, which they don't have. Just 1 smoke for the team of Colony. Let's see if 4 Piggies themselves have any smokes in their hand. Because if they don't, it'll be a bit hard for 4 Piggies to get back to the zone. They don't have a nade, a molly, or a smoke, so they'll just have to fight it out right now, which is not going in their favor. But as NIII has been knocked out pretty low, he doesn't have any helmet or vest, so 1 bullet will do. Lemma also has a broken vest, so shot to his body will be pretty lethal as well. Maestro okay with his M4 spray connecting 40 HP out to R, and it's just going to be the knock. As I said, no helmet for NIII. He's going to be knocked and plays on getting the kill of the last player of 4 Piggies, and it will be Colony PH out of everyone that claims the dinner after being knocked out to the last player with just 1 kill. They have popped back on with killing all the players remaining from SENMOD, claiming that 2 kills and also 1 kill from 4 Piggies as the last player has gone out of the zone. So 4 kills and a chicken dinner for Colony, but 4 Piggies is going to make more points out of the game as they have 12 kills to their name. So it's all good for 4 Piggies, even though Colony does manage to get the chicken dinner away from them. we're back into the second Erangel of the day, the last Erangel of the tournament. And let's see who's gonna claim the last battle out in Erangel for PUBG Apac Summer League. So I guess the teams are aware that it's going to be the last two games for the tournament, so it is possible that the teams will be a bit aggressive going out in the front. We'll be seeing NXG and M4 battling it out again, and Ferripar, they are not ready to budge inch out of the fight, so that will be that early fight. But also SENMOD in the mix this time around, so it'll be a 3-man fight early on in the farm area, the ferry pier near farm. So let's see what's gonna happen here. NXG and SENMOD are already getting into a fight. Yep, Little Ghost just knocked out Rambo with his US, and let's see if Little Ghost is going to confirm it. Yep, it does get confirmed, and NXG Gordon gives YT also getting pretty tagged up, will be knocked and flashed up by Claire. So an early fight going on between SENMOD and NXG, and also there'll be a fight between M4 as well. So M4, so Rambo getting killed by one player of NXG, and NXG's Gautam Gaming YT being killed by SENMOD. So fight going around the 3 teams right now. Let's see who will come out on top. But out of everything that happened, zone has gone directly onto Georgia Pole, dividing the zone into 2 parts. Is the water body in the center, so it'll be the north part, including Zarki and the northern apartments area, including shooting range, and in the bottom part it'll be Georgepur Hospital, Gadka, and parts of the ruins. So many of our teams, including ASTRAX, Team 4CG, 4 PIGGIES, the team that survives out of SENMOD, NXG, and M4, they all will have to rotate to the zone, and they will have to make a wild shift because the teams will be pretty concentrated into one area of the map. And right now, AKA Myth got a knock onto since King Red. So let's see what's going to happen in this commotion. But I don't think, oh, Darkman Beast is not aware of the one player behind him. He's just standing on the open. Even though after getting mollied, the molly does not connect. So he's going on to the bottom floor. And Pure and King Reds both get 1 knock each. So King Red's trying to jump out of the window, trying to get the last player of NXG. Fleur with his shotgun. Let's see if the pump shotgun does connect onto Fleur, but not getting the ankle as much as he would love to. But yep, in the end, it's all out for NXG. SENMOD getting all 4 kills here in Erangel, the last Erangel of the tournament. So M4 will be coming in a bit here, trying to see if there's something left to kill. But all of the other teams, PINTADOS Esports has already gone into the compound with the tri-section near Georgia Pole. Mr. Zio of Colony has already left Katka towards the apartments area of Georgia Pole. Team 4 PIGGIES are also on the move. They are taking a pretty western shift right now. SENMOD are aware that M4 are also on the move. Ironhide is going towards the zone. So every other single team are going for the zone other than SENMOD, who for themselves doesn't have a vehicle. So it'll be a bit hard for them to get into the zone as of now. But there is a vehicle that M4 did steal in the beginning from M4. So that US will be coming to great use for SENMOD right now, as the last 2 players left for SENMOD will be trying to battling it out in the last Erangel of today and hopefully of this tournament. So already the JUNKYARD Group and HOA in the apartments area of North Georgia Pole. shots getting traded here and there, but no knocks getting confirmed, no committed fight between the two teams, as it's just isolated fights here and there, but they'll be rest up, they'll be healing themselves up, changing the gear, as the loot will be sufficient in this area of the map. So, but Head On Point has a really ratty ankle towards the JUNKYARD. So if they do decide to push on to HOA, JUNKYARD has got, sorry, the HOA has got it well and covered. So UK Pro G's position is well known for HOA right now. So if Pro G decide to make a move, he's gonna get knocked up, as Sevi is pretty close to JUNKYARD. And as they're talking about Carbon, Lodi has just knocked up Hanax, and Menabdi has returned fire towards Senti. So there are knocks going left and right towards 976 and Action PSO. It's just left for Action Lodi, sorry, Carbon Lodi, as just him remaining, and Georges will be knocked low. So both tagged up pretty low. It's just the two players remaining for Action PS right now. Action Georges getting a knock onto Carbon Lodi, but that's just going to be it for Action PS for this match. But 976 again loses two of their players pretty early. That is becoming a trend for 976, but they still manages to get into the last phases of the game, even though in the last match of Miramar they weren't there in the last 5. So let's see where this is going to leave 9762. They already have 4 kills, so I think they're happy enough right now. But one more point won't hurt them, right? Phase 1 is already closing out. It'll be closed in 2.5 minutes. One player of HOA is already knocked up and he's bleeding out. So let's see if the JUNKYARD group is able to confirm the skill. But Sevi still is in this ratty position, seeing if the JUNKYARD group is going to budge anything. Smokes being put out by Pubg. So I think that JUNKYARD group is thinking about maybe pushing if for opportunity presents themselves, but they are not aware that Sevi is pretty close to them, and if they do decide to push into, Sevi is ready to be that anchor to get 1 or 2 knock onto the JUNKYARD group, which will prove deadly and costly, as they already have 3 players left. Finally, HOA does manage to get the revive onto Xiaoma, and it'll be all for up for HOA right now. Sevi unbudging from this position. He won't move even after whatever has happened with his team. But Head On Point trying to come to this position, try to take this buggy for maybe. No, he's just coming to come towards HOAs. Last place, Sevi was remaining. Oh my god, Pubg has been knocked up pretty low. If this nade does manage to go anywhere near him, Pubg is going to be knocked up, but Pubg does manage to dodge the nade, so he'll be alive for the next few moments. Let's see if Pubg is able to get the 2 kills of Sevi and Head On Point, but Pubg suddenly leaves the building. He leaves the fight. He skills it out. He's going to the next building. Maybe Pubg will get a good angle on it. Oh my god, how did he even spot him? Sevi gets a spray onto Siri. The fight is escalating as Pubg is trying to hold his ground up, as the JUNKYARD group is being pushed by HOA at the moment, and Pubg is going to molly the stairs as they won't be able to push him up right now. So Pubg trying as much as possible to slow down the push from HOA. It's being successful until now, as Pubg has not been knocked or being seriously hurt by HOA. They're still looking for him. Pubg is still able to be on the run. As soon as HOA is able to push, he swaps the building. He jumps onto the roof of the other building. Pubg doing well to avoid the push that, or the pressure that HOA is putting up on him. SOA at this moment will be probably confused as of what to do against this guy, as he is not giving an inch to HOA. Nothing is being given. HOA are needing to work for everything and every inch of space that they need to get right now, and it's not going well for HOA as they are constricted to one single building right now. And if JUNKYARD does manage to get a knock, as does Sevi get knocked by Pubg right now. Let's see if the nade is going to get connected. It's a pretty good. Oh, it's flash. He doesn't have a nade. And in meanwhile, PINTADOS ESPORT just got annihilated by ASTRAX. So a lot of fights going on, and all the games to be pretty aggressive. Sevi does get pretty backed up, and that's going to be a pretty bad decision out of hit on point, because that is not going to work for them right now. But a smoke and a change of angle helps. Oh, he's doing as much as possible to get that knock, but that is going to be pretty greedy out of Pubg, as he will be knocked out by Xiaoma. And the fourth player is still again up for HOA, but that player who was trying to put so much pressure on HOA has been knocked out. Pubg is going to be bleeding out in the top of the other apartment, which HOA will be pushing in the next second. Meanwhile, we are seeing fights happening in the background between 976 and other teams as well. But this right here is a fight to look into, because no more trying to spray down. That has happened. It's just onto City, and City has been wiped out. And now HOA just annihilated the JUNKYARD group. So this is time for us to look into the fight between 976, and the fight has been going on in behind us between Colony and 976. And as we can see, the two players left for 976 always works better than the whole squad left, as Lemma has been just stacked up pretty much, and man of these NIII claiming 2 kills of Maestro and Zio. So it's just 2 left for Colony right now, Shinryuji and Lemma. And in between those 5, they have managed to get 2 more kills. So it's 6 kills now for 976 at the point. So 2 players are better than 4 is the quote that 976 wants to tell now. Let's see what more 976 can make out of this game, because Shinryuji is in a bit of a pickle right now, because he just have this concrete as cover. So let's see if 976 will be able to isolate this fight, and he will be able to get the knock onto Shinryuji. The drive-by works well enough for Manad gets the knock onto Shinryuji. So it'll be this last player of Lemma left for Colony. Let's see if Colony is able to do something. Lemma does get knocked down to 46 HP. He tries to pop a nade, and the drop down shot from Manad worked out for 976, as 2 players completely annihilate the whole team, Colony, and 8 kills now for 976, 5 for Manabdi and 3 for Roulette, and 6 teams now alive in phase 3, just 19 alive now, and the zone has shifted towards Everest and Georgia Pole. So if a team this dash they had to go to Everest, it'll be a bit advantageous for them maybe. So let's see if someone tries to get into the highest spot possible right now, that is Everest. And we just saw that ASTRAX and M4 are in a single house, and a fight is going on between them. It's a 2v3 versus M4, and it's just Ironhide left for M4, and he does get 2 knocks out if he manages to get a health pack on back, and maybe the last player is pushing up, but he doesn't manage to the 1v3 that was presented on him. But ASTRAX will be able to rest up 2 knockdown players. It'll be up 3 players for ASTRAX now. It'll be okay, but 4CG are deciding to push on to this fight, so they'll be needing to move pretty fast, or else Exhibition will also already be 27 HP, and Kel will be just rest up, will be on 10 HP, but Killua just get knocked out by XRF. Maybe getting a second knock, or just not get that. With Subu getting knock and plus on to XRF and Exhibition also getting knocked. So it will be just after the last player of ASTRAX at the moment. Let's see what is round up and is going to be killed by which ASTRAX not up. Just 4 teams alive in this last angle of PUBG Apex Summer League, and it's HOA, 4 Piggies, 4 CG, and not surprisingly 2 members of 976 Esports. And 4 Piggies out of nothing are pushing into this. 4 players of 4 Piggies pushing into this fight. So maybe to just get knocked onto Amit, he'll be flashed by JUNKYARD. So it's a 3v3 in the midst, but Killa gets a knock onto Baby Sue. And the nade does get connected, so knocking him down to 33 HP. US nade just confirmed the kill of Baby Sue, so it'll be just the 2 players left in the compound for Piggies. So it's a 2v2 in the compound, and the last player of the Piggies are trying to rotate back to the side. So he'll be knocked down right now. No, he does not get. He just knocked to pretty low HP, but JUNKYARD did manage to knock his own teammate in the end. So it'll be a 1v1 in this compound. Wade Super will be in the open, tagged up pretty high. And JUNKYARD trying to do something over this fight. He'll be making a mistake, but he does not make a mistake right now, as JUNKYARD with 11 HP left will be knocking out both the players. Begins right now, and he'll be getting the health back on, and the headshot from JUNKYARD going to confirm all the kills for Piggies. So a 1v3 working very well for Team 4CG, claiming 7 kills. And in the background, we saw HOA fighting 976, and 976 has been wiped out. So it's just the 2 players of 4CG left with HOA's full squad. So I guess we already know what the predecessor of this match is going to be, as HOA already has info on where 4CG's last 2 players are on, and they also that it's a 4v2. In the second that 4CG does decide to get into the zone, it'll be all over for 4CG, as HOA will be waiting for them. JUNKYARD is trying to get into the skill zone now, but it's most probably that the push is going to be unsuccessful, as there is a nade onto JUNKYARD. But JUNKYARD manages to get a knock, but that nade that I just told about from Nomo has got both the kills of JUNKYARD and Wits Ovo, and that'll be it for the last Irangle. HOA claiming the dinner with 4CG in second place, 4 Piggies in third, and 976 out in the 4th place. So yeah, we are back into the last game of PUBG Apex Summer League, and we're into Miramar, as it's again a pretty central lane route. And let's see if teams do decide to take early fights and hot traps do happen, because it's the last game, so teams are bound to get a bit crazy. So let's see if Picado is going to be in a 4 or 5 scores, or if 976 who are already sitting pretty top, pretty easy and questioning on top, if they'll be deciding to go on to any team and maybe make a hot drop on them or something like that. But we can already see the two teams that are already in Picado, including 976, who just decided to get into Picado. As I said that there are already two teams, 976 and Action PH here. Sorry, 4 Piggies are here, 2. So 976 Flash did just punch out 2 players. So that's that. And Carbon Lodi just got a knock on to Hanax with his M16A4. Roulette just knocked down Carbon Lodi, and easy 4 kills for 976 Esports already in this game, knocking out all of the teams or all of the players out of Action PH. And still there is action. 4 Piggies looking at this fight, they'll be interested as well. (976) ruthless from the beginning. In the last map they already have 4 kills, and it's just been 2 minutes already. So we know that the caliber that this team plays with, the fierce amount of gunpowder that this team has, it cannot be unseen. We have been seeing through the tournament, they have been racking up kills over kills over kills every single map. And in meanwhile, HOA and PINTADOS Esports together has wiped out 4CG. So let's see if a fight goes on between HOA and PINTADOS Esports as well, because 2 other teams were involved in the flash out of 4CG. So it is also possible that PINTADOS Esports will eventually fight HOA. But here in Picado, 3 players of 4 Piggies, they are trying to doom. Oh my god, Flash just gave an instant flick onto Imomne, and he's been tagged up as well. So let's see if something happens between these two teams, because Casino and Arcade are not the two, Arena are not the 2 places to fight with, because they have so much cover, so many windows to play with. So let's see if Action PH or 4 Piggies comes out on top. Action PH still alive with all 4 alive and intact with 4 kills in their hand and 3 up 4 grabs right in front of them. Let's see if they'll be able to wipe up 4 Piggies as well. If they do manage to get it, it'll be 7 kills in this game already for them. Let's see what 4 Piggies are able to do with their fight. Coming up with most of the compounds are onto them. It's still a roulette, and the whole team of 976 are able to bounce up so much damage for the name, so much so that they are being feared by other teams. 4 Piggies themselves are a bit hesitant to fight. HOA and PINTADOS Esports getting into a fight. HOA now with 2 knocked members, and also already we can see PINTADOS Esports is pushing into this compound. Sevi is kind of isolated in this fight, and a nade coming right besides him, not able to get any damage onto him. KO is managing to flash up all the knocks. So 2 kills for HOA now from this fight. But Sevi does manage to get a knock. He goes to a wide flank now, getting a knock and flash on the chance. The S12K will be silenced, and Sevi getting 1 more knock onto silent. Let's see if that'll be enough. Sevi flashed up. Let's see if he can do something more out of this fight. as this the last teammate is coming as well. Sevi gets one more knock on KO. That's 3 knocks by Sevi with his shotgun right now. He's pretty furious about this instance, but PINTADOS Esports has left the last teammate pretty isolated, and he is taking shots with no more. But still remains Sevi standing erect on top of PINTADOS Esports, getting 3 kills onto them. So 6 kills for HOA already in this last map of Miramar, PUBG Apac Summer League. Phase 1 will be closing in 3 minutes and 52 seconds, but the zone is pretty central onto Picaro, and each and every team is on the safe zone. ASTRAX did just manage to get a kill onto Flare, so it'll be just okay right now. But what a grenade from NFD! His nade literally traveled the whole arena and just managing to get it into the window, knocking the player PIGGIES. But that one did not connect from Relay. He has a DBS in his hand. In close quarters, there is no other gun in this game that could come close to it. But Bibisu has an answer for the DBS, which would be the S1897, which gets a knock onto Roulette. So it'll be Bibisu trying to hold fort right now as Relay is knocked out. Bibisu will be throwing a flash, trying to... Okay, he throws a flash zone. So he does see that one player is knocked out. So maybe... Oh my god, Colney did just help 976 out, as that single knocked player will be hit now and flashed. So Menadi did just knock Imomne as well, so just one player alive, four PIGGIES, and that'll be closed out as well. 976, 7 kills and 4 players still alive. Just 23 people alive right now. Team are getting slandered left and right. Just 8 teams left. It's not even phase 1. It's not even the onset of phase 2. Phase 1 is still not being able to close, but still teams are fighting left and right, and there's just only 8 teams alive right now with 23 players, and 976 with 7 of those kills to their name. So right now we can see it's a pretty bit silent, so there's nothing to talk about. And M4 is in their compound in the safe zone. So let's see who will get the advantage in the next shift of phase 2. Everyone going pretty central as of now. There is no team in the edges. There is no team playing out in this blue zone as well. Everyone is right in the center of Power Grid and Picado. So Colony, ASTRAX, SENMOD, PINTADOS, HOA, 976, M4, everyone is right in the center. Sorry about that. There just fight goes on between SENMOD and Colony, and ASTRAX are included in that fight. So let's see who's gonna come out on top. As still as only got a knock onto Lemma. So Colonel Lemma will be knocked and flashed from this last game. So that'll be it for him in this series. So let's see what happens between the fight between SENMOD and Colony as well. So it's a 3-team fight. SENMOD coming on top as of now, getting a knock onto Mr. Gio and Shinryuji being flashed as well. So let's see ASTRAX or SENMOD manages to get on top of this fight of 3 teams together. And further, this will just got a knock onto King Reds. So SENMOD is going to get flashed by ASTRAX right now. Further, this will be working wonders for ASTRAX as King Reds and Mr. Gio just got. And meanwhile, Manabdi just got a knock onto ASTRAX as well. So let's see, Manabdi getting involved in this fight. Colony just got 2 knocks and 2 flashes of ASTRAX, so it's just going to be the last one player of ASTRAX left, and Colony's last player too. And already 976 are here. 976 are trying to fight this out, and he's got a knock onto Faisal. This is just going to be the one player left for ASTRAX right now, and he's going to be far away, and he does get the knock onto Hanax. So Rule Maestro just the last player left for Colony, and SENMOD's the last one player left. Colony PH has been eliminated by Rule's last single kill. 9th kill being secured by my 976, but he is aware that SENMOD is residing right by him. 1M boat is directly in a small building behind them, but I don't think they're aware of it. They do lose Hanax in the process, but if Manabdi or Rule or any flash manages to get a 1v1 in front of this SENMOD's player, SENMOD is going to get maybe one kill onto 976. Manabdi gets killed by 1M boat and Kel gets a knock onto flash, so it'll be just one player left for 976. Maybe that will be the last play that they make in this tournament. They already got 9 kills, so they'll be sitting pretty on top, but 976 has been eliminated with 9 kills to the name. M1M boat taking 2 down and Kel getting 1 kill as well. So it'll be it for 976 in this tournament, but they do manage to get 9 kills and be in the 7th position as well. It will be just 2 players alive for SENMOD and ASTRAX. So it'll be just 4 teams for the teams alive. Let's see who's going to claim the chicken dinner in this game with just 6 teams and 2 solo players alive. NXT is a bit close to 1M boat right now, so if they're able to spot him out, it'll be very good for them, as NXT only with 2 players alive right now. If they do get that 1 kill, it'll be beneficial for them. But as of now, the zone has gone directly towards all the teams, so it'll be just favoring Power Grid at this moment, so it'll be okay for everyone who are in the safe zone. I think NXT are aware of this last player who is here, that is 1M boat. So if they are able to get this 1 kill, maybe they'll be able to do something in this map as well. Just 10 people alive with 6 teams left. It's already been pretty havoc in last Miramar, as 976 decided to hot drop Pecado when there already was messy spray, and the spray does not connect as Darkman Beast just got knocked down by 1M bot. SENMOD's 1M bot trying to do something out of this messy fight, knocked down to 13 HP from the nade of Darkman Beast, but he just managed to get back to 75 HP. But Darkman Beast himself will be getting rest up, so 1M bot will be aware that this is going to happen, so he will be ready for the 1v2 when time comes. So it's just the three players left for M4, 9 alive, just 5 teams. So SENMOD has been just wiped out. And yep, it'll be confirmed, and there'll be just 4 teams alive, and none of them has 4 players. ASTRAX with just 1, NXT with 2, HOA with 2, and M4 with 3. ASTRAX already has 7 kills to the name, NXT with just 1 kill to the name, HOA 2 players alive. They also has some kills to their name. Let's see if any of this team, that is ASTRAX with this last 1 player alive, may be able to clutch on and pull out a miracle for themselves. But I don't think there's going anything anything surprising is going to happen here, because it's pretty equal, other than for M4, who has got 3 members. But other than that, Darkman Beast and Gutsy of NXT are the 2 players alive for them. HOA with 2 players and ASTRAX with 1 player. So let's see where a fight is going to emanate next, as teams will be coming towards Power Grid, as it's the only solid comfort left, and everyone knows that it's just 9 players left. So everyone will be trying to get into this compound and maybe fight it out. Even though we can see there are 4 teams alive, but none of that 4 teams have 4 players alive, right? It's just a 2v2, 1v3. And it's a 3-man for M4 and HOA are not sure if someone is going to push them in the next moment or not. So let's see if something like that happens. Let's see if a fight does go on between one of the teams here. So it's just going pretty silent now in Miramar, as ASTRAX's last player has been spotted down, but he won't be connected. No knocks out right now. Headshot onto Kel, 70 attack. It'll be knocked down to 22 HP. Let's see if they have a need as a response to knock out the last player of ASTRAX and maybe make it 3-squad fight. But still, NXT are hesitant to push into it, so they'll be just residing in this corner that they have now. At this point, it's just teams trying to play like it's the start of the game again. They're just trying to pick whatever's possible, maybe for the end game. Let's see where the zone is going to shift into. If it's going to get in the open, it'll be pretty much interesting. But if the zone does manage to get into this power grid area, it's going to be pretty messy. And the zone does come to the power grid area, but half of the zone is still outside power grid. Let's see where the rest of the zone, so rest of the game goes to. If it's going to be pretty stale for the next 5 or 10 minutes, or it's the teams trying to start play a bit more aggressive. If 976 was still here, things would have been pretty much different, as we could have seen 976 trying to cause as much as damage possible, trying to push every team. But that's not the case here, as 976 is no more. They have been eliminated from the last game of this tournament, and it's just going to be the 4 teams alive, with none of the team with 4 players. Everyone just camping in their own compounds. 94 maybe making a move of their own. So let's see what's gonna happen in that fight. So M4, but still they are just deciding stay in the edge of the zone, not deciding to go into the center. So I think it's going to be still for this zone as well, as teams are pretty hesitant as they want to play the maximum as possible. It's just the last game. They want to milk out everything as possible before they leave it. It's a one-time possibility maybe to get a chicken dinner as well for some of the teams here. I don't think M4 or NXT both has got a chicken dinner to their name, so it'll be pretty much of a thing for them to say that they did manage to do something in this tournament. So let's see if any of the team is able to do anything with the portion that they've got now. Ironhide crawling up ever so slightly. We're seeing that fights are a bit still as of now. Nothing is going on. For the last 10 minutes, it has been like this. Nothing has been going on. All the teams are pretty hesitant to fight as there still remains power grid in this fight. But Darkman Beast and his teammate from NXT are coming first for slightly closer to M4, and they might be punished for it. But no, even though he gets pretty much tagged up, the fight does not go on. But Gutsy is trying to get a bit more gutsy maybe and trying to push him out, but that does not happen as they do get cover from behind for Mighty 4. So Ironhide manages to get back to cover to his teammate. So a nade back, and the nade does get connected to Gutsy, and that'll be it for Gutsy and NXT most probably. But that nade from Darkman Beast might connect for Ironhide as well. So no, that was not a nade, that was a smoke, but that did not connect. Ironhide, it'll be all over for Gutsy. It'll be just Darkman Beast alive. Let's see what's gonna happen with the last player of NXT and ASTRAX alive, and it's just gonna be the 2 players of HOA and the 3 players of M4. I think it's most probable that M4 might get the chicken dinner in this map. Kiminame, Ironhide, and Rambo are pretty confident that they can do it, so they are not doing anything stupid as of now. They're just cleaning up the mess that other teams have made. They're just playing for their own time. They're just taking their own time. They're playing slow. They are getting all the knocks that they need in the time that they need. And meanwhile, Sevi has got the knock on to kill, so that'll be it for ASTRAX as well. So it's a 2v1v3 in favor of M4. 2 players of HOA inside power grid. All the players of M4 outside power grid, just waiting for the zone to pop out of power grid so that HOA will rotate out of it maybe. And Darkman Beast is throwing it out, waiting for M4 to come to him and present to him, and that happened. Darkman Beast does get a man knock onto Ironhide. So if NXT is that is Darkman Beast is able to make some casualty or another, it'll be pretty bad for Mighty 4 for the next game. But Rambo does have a nade in his hand, but he's not using it. He's refraining from to use it, but that might come back to bite him in the back, but that does not happen as Darkman Beast has been killed. But Ironhide has been taken out by Nomo, so it'll be a 2v2 straight up versus M4's and HOA. Timiname's position has been spotted out, and Rambo's position is also known as well. So let's see, as they both are pretty split up. So if a knock goes in against M4, it'll be pretty bad for them, as it'll be just him bleeding out in the open, and that is not what HOA want. But HOA decides to go back to the comfort that they already had. He just goes back to that single building that they had. But still, we can see that this warehouse and that brick house that they had, they're playing a split with themselves. So Sevi is trying to go to a wider angle, but has been spotted out. the possibility that he'll be getting knocked out, but Team Iname getting knocked out by Sevi. We have 1v2. It's a Rambo. As I said already, M4 we're fighting a 1v1, 1v and a 1v1 split. So it'll be bad for him if they just get knocked out. And that does happen, as it'll be just Rambo alive for M4 at this moment. He'll be needed to clutch out a 1v2 if they do need to get the chicken dinner in this last map of this tournament. But still, Rambo is unaware where the last two players are, even though he knows that the other two players are pushing his last two teammates. I don't know what Rambo is thinking of. What's complicating here, as he already knows the other two teammates are already pushing his last knock teammate. So Rambo, bit of a pickle right now. How did Sebi even spot him out from that case, bro? But no one knows. But let's see what Sebi is able to do against Rambo, as a nade is going to be tossed out. But that goes wide of the compound or the warehouse. But Rambo is they're in. If Rambo is able to get a knock onto Sebi, but that does not happen. Let's see if Rambo is able to get a 1v2. And just no more behind the fence and in the compound. Rambo playing cautiously, weaving in and through to each corner that he gets, but no more, and Sevi are giving him no more angles. So let's see if Rambo will be able to do something ratty. Rambo just left the compound just like that. So Sevi already knows it. Sevi is trying to push it. Sevi knows now where he is, so he is not going to press it right now, but no more from the right side. Sevi with a wide peak claims the last dinner of the tournament. Is going to be HOA with 9 kills after a long awaited end game. There's nothing much going on, but NSG after a while fighting with M4 and HOA taking advantage of it claims the dinner, and that'll be it for the Miramar with 9 kills. HOA claims the dinner. We'll be publishing the points table shortly, so sit tight and wait for the table to be published.